This is one thing while I was like trying to mess around with this. Look, Stone Cold Steve Austin has his own podcast. I knew
Yeah.
The Undertaker and Kane had their own. It's like that's the new thing to do. Superstars, ex actors, everything, musicians, all doing podcasts now. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Even like if you're any type of say D level.
Yeah. We got a third member here in the house. Introduce yourself here, everybody. Anna Ferreira. Wait, what do you?
If you're any type of D list, if you have like Bobby Lee or someone like that that's been in a few movies and is really just kind of like a half-ass comedian, boom, you could have a podcast.
Here, let me.
I just sit down and can we just sit down and chill? Like, what's up with you? What about your fucking, what's up with your life? If you have any bit of fame and you start up a podcast, you're automatically going to have more viewers. And I think than anybody just no fame trying to do it, which was what podcast was originally for.
I think
so. It's kind of like a double-edged sword. It's like, okay, this is a way to see your favorite kind of famous people and get a more insight. Like, oh, I can listen to them every day, just talk regular talk instead of waiting for an album or waiting for a movie or whatnot. But also, it kind of like pushes the people that can't get deals or whatnot to the side, which podcast was just supposed to be meant regular people trying to do non-regular people shit.
Pretty much with that said, I mean, you just like everything, you get used to it. My biggest thing, all right, which I'll bring up is when you're done saying what you got to say is COVID time when we first found out about having to migrate up here, us doing our research and just being like,
yeah,
what the fuck is this, man? Because all the videos were just, I mean, they show.
We do have a podcast like Grant's Pass,
We hated it.
It was like we really didn't know anything about it. And we've lived our whole lives in San Jose. And we're like, this hick town, oh my God, dude,
we thought there was going to be nothing up here. They made it sound like it was just nothing but parks and like fucking, that was it.
And the worst thing is, our move was smack dab during COVID. So when we thought about like a hick town, and then when we were moving here, nothing was open, nothing was going on. It was just COVID, we basically moved here. And we basically were going back and forth, with everything closed. So we really didn't know. He moved here earlier, like a year earlier. So, you're like, okay, actually, now that everything's open again, it isn't that bad. There's like all kinds of shit going on, and then I actually came to visit and, but it wasn't really until my friend visited and we finally got to, and I had no choice but to actually have to go places.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, okay, cool. It's like, I don't have to stay home all the time. There's like cool ass pubs. And then, random people talk to you like, hey, how's it going there, bud? Like,
Yeah, people are super friendly. Well, one thing that I learned after being here, and me and my father-in-law always talk about this, is that this is a melting pot of Californians. There's so much people, more than like about half the people here are from some part of California. And a lot of them are actually from the Bay Area or SoCal too. Not just like, like Chico or some weird spot, but like from actual Bay. And the one of the guys that works at the Planet Fitness down the street that, I go work out at, he's from Campbell. and we always joke around, about going back to the Bay and shit, and then like, and his mind thought is the same exactly as ours, like the traffic and all that. Every time we go to the rivers or somewhere and we meet somebody, like the dog park, it's always someone from some part of California, and they talk about how they moved up here. Like, I'll give an example. We went to go get a burger at Eddie's. It wasn't Eddie's Burgers. It was Barney's Burgers, the new joint over there.
I read something on the chat about that. They said it's actually pretty good.
It was by Sweet Tea Express. So
Eddie's
anyway,
is pretty good too. I've been there like 3-4 times.
Yeah, when we were there eating, there was some two ladies, and we're eavesdropping, and they were talking about how they're from one's from Cupertino and the other's from Sacramento, and how they moved up here. And they were talking about how, like, oh yeah, they could never like afford to move back, this and that, blah blah. And they were talking to the waitress that worked there. She was from Washington. So I'm just like, fuck, like, is anybody really from here anymore?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
literally, I think over 50% of the people I met have like some connection to California,
which makes sense. We're only an hour from the border.
Yeah. This is like perfect for and especially Californians that want to be in a smaller town. That's probably why they gathered here. For example, like my doctor, her receptionist actually is married to a Portuguese guy that went to the same Portuguese clubs that me and you grew up by. Nova Aliança,
Sporting.
yes. Sporting.
Café da Canto.
Yeah. And we're like, holy shit. Not only are you from the same area we're from,
Banavella,
but you're married to somebody who was at the same. We probably know them. I don't know. If I see them, I might have seen them, but like, that's crazy small world. Like, the person I bought my car from here is from Fresno. The person that our realtor, my mom's realtor,
Sacramento, right?
Yeah, she's from Sacramento, but her son-in-law, the guy that helped us do our backyard, he is actually from Tulare, and he knows my dad's cousins, the Mendozas, So it's like, whoa, you random ass person out of nowhere knows someone related to my dad,
It's a trip, yeah, man. But yeah,
and I've just been meeting random people that somehow
Yeah, so you can see how our perception and over time from when we like we said earlier, how our time changed from thinking it was going to be in middle of nowhere, small town with nothing to do, to actually being something way better than expected. People actually, it's the opposite. Everyone, like you said, half the people are from California, and you know what I mean. It's not a hick town at all. It's
but
just
when you grow up in San see me, on the red carpet, can I just sit down and can we just sit down and chill? Like, what's up with you? What about your fucking, what's up with your life? Like, can we just not, talk to, you got two celebrities talking like me and you were talking. So I think that's pretty cool about it. The thing is, to me, is I think more of the influencers are the ones that are like less real on the podcasts compared to.
So that is their character. You know what I mean?
That is their character, as opposed to the famous people are doing the opposite. Right. They're trying to not be their character and be themselves.
Yeah, which people
were reversed, where the podcasters, where the original ones, the influencers, are trying to reverse it, not be themselves, but be this character.
Put an image on to Jake Paul. They're selling themselves.
Guys, are always these big podcasters are always these high they're always this character of themselves, trying to overdo it. Yeah. While the famous people are underdoing it. They're like being extra like boring or chill because they're so sick of always having to be, in character.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're kind of using it for the opposite that we're using it,
Yeah. One thing I would like though is eventually, if whether we get a shitload of followers or not, just people to get involved and tell us shit to react to, things to
Yeah.
talk about, and give our opinions. Interact. I'd love to interact with the
Yeah.
audience. You know what I mean?
If there's a way to interact, or also kind of give us topics if we have enough people to actually have a chat and get topics, because when you see the bigger podcasters, what they actually do is half the show is written by the people. They just sit there for half a show and read the chat, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, okay. Oh, yeah, he talks about this and stuff like that. So, what we're thinking is having another segment and trying to localize it. We're from Grants Pass, Oregon, or we live here. We're
That's
actually
right.
from California, but
From the Bay Area.
yeah, it's a community, and there is a community chat, Grants Pass community chat, which is on Facebook. And there's a couple funny posts here, a couple not funny posts here. We would like to do a kind of like a live chat or review of like the week or 2 weeks of what's going on in Grants Pass chat, and kind of have a live version of it instead of it just being on Facebook.
Yeah, I would also like, because I know for a lot
Also
of
reviewing places here and
yeah.
stuff like that. That's just a local area. This segment is more for everybody, but what we want to do with this channel is have different eventually have different shows. Like this will be our main kind of flagship show, where us talking like this, and we're gonna do movies and um music, talk about just topics going on in the world, also stuff like we talked about, like council wars and retro stuff, a lot of retro stuff, because we're going to talk about stuff that we grew up with, because we grew up with, like, say, satellite going to streaming service, DVDs going to just the pre-internet to post-internet world. We're going to talk a lot of fads, and then we're going to have kind of like the local Grants Pass show. Then I want to do a sports show, nerd out.
Well, we're gonna have I think, but the captivating thing about podcasts, I think, is because it shows a different side and a humble, like more of a humble vision of like that person. So you're famous, right? You're known as this character, as this image, this brand, whether you're a musician, actor, whatever. But when you do a podcast, it brings out more of like, the natural person in you. And people like that. They like seeing, their inspiration or whatever, being human and just
I think a
shooting the
podcast,
shit.
a podcast brings you closer to the famous person than just watching them play characters and stuff,
Yeah, exactly.
And I think brings down celebrities being more real, just kind of just chilling and talking, like, oh shit, they could just sit, they like to sit down, chill and talk, they don't want to be always have to be on point, like, fuck, okay, you gotta see me at a concert, you gotta see me in a movie, you gotta